Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me today. So this video, I'm super excited to share this information. And this has to do with our spiritual gifts and understanding them more fully. And today I'm going to talk about one specific spiritual gift and understanding that our spiritual gifts, as we become childlike again, stepping back into, the unknown and stepping into what is not familiar back into what is truly familiar within us eternally. It's very beautiful. So I have typed this out because I actually recorded this video before and it didn't turn out. And so I saved a lot of the information and typed it out, and I'm just going to read that, and then we are going to move over to the whiteboard so we can see how this gift of light actually is meant for the healing of the nations. And this goes hand in hand with a message or a teaching that I did that Father and Mother had me do about a year and a half ago. I will repost that video. It has to do with healing our DNA cords or strands. And they were instructing me of how that is done. And so I will share that because it goes hand in hand now with where we are in a new heaven and earth being brought in and using our spiritual gifts. So this particular spiritual gift has to do with the quiet empath. You're going to feel this based on the energy of the area you were in. So when you were a quiet empath, you were able to feel and pick up on the energies around you. Okay, so let's just talk about this for a minute. Okay, so let's talk about for a few minutes the beauty of our spiritual gifts, and also beginning to recognize those gifts being activated within us and seeing the purpose they will be used for healing the nations. As we know, there are many, many different types of spiritual gifts. When we are unable to see what is being activated within us, this can cause anxiety, depression, psychosis, and all those things that can happen because we're resisting our spirit so badly instead of stepping into the higher self so that new growth can take place. It is so important that we are stepping into our higher selves so that new growth can take place. Oh, sorry, I reread that. So it is so important that we comprehend more fully spiritual gifts and learning why Yahshua taught, evaluate your heart daily and capture every thought, casting the net onto the right side of the boat, scanning your energy fields daily and making sure that what you are experiencing and feeling is is actually your own energy, especially when you are connected, making sure to scan the energy coming at you and make sure it's not someone who is actually reaching out for help and you're not seeing it because you have identified with the energy as your own, even when it is not your own energy. So this is the gift of a silent empath, okay, and what is massively happening in the world right now. I'm going to first share this experience first about this particular gift of what some would call an empath, but it's truly being connected as one to all of creation. When you begin to awaken, you begin to see a lot of synchronicities and things that you are being taught in the spirit. Others are being taught, so the synchronicities of what things you're being taught in the spirit and what others are being taught in the spirit. And the second witness, they become as a second witness, a glorious gift in our life. You begin to see the connection to people you have never met before. That is the oneness. That is true connection, what the world would call an empath. When you go through your healing process and allow your inner child to be healed and those generational curses to be broken and healed within us, we begin to understand this connection of oneness on a greater scale. So understand, what does that mean? It means stand, we do the inward work. The kingdom of heaven lives within, and we pull that forward. So an experience of this really quick, for me, when the healing massively came of generational curses, it came barreling in like a freight train of healing that had to take place in my generational line. I was literally feeling the energy of my ancestry so profound, and even down to different lives I had lived, that there came a point that I literally had to reach out to 3 people and had asked them to pray over me. I could not endure anymore. I was at my absolute breaking point. Even though I was clearing those things that would come, the feelings of all these experiences was so overwhelming to me that I got to the point I said, time out, I can't handle any more of this. But at the same time, I would go through it all over again because it was helping me clear my generational line. So for that, I'm very grateful. When that happened, when that happens, it brings forth so many feelings. I had to feel the pain and suffering of women of polygamy horribly bad. It was like feeling their pain, their sorrow, their betrayal. They felt from their husbands that they had felt from their husbands, feeling the pain of those women whose husbands had affairs or children with other women, polygamy, mistresses, affairs, and so on. Whatever you want to call it. It was an horrific experience to go through that's all I'm going to say. Understanding now why that was happening is because when we step into spiritual gifts, part of it is being able to remove those generational curses and help offset the adversities that others have experienced to heal a generational line from those generational curses. Okay, so in that video that I did, where Father and Mother had me share the healing of generational cords and our tapestries of life, and I will go over more of that today. It was literally a call out to the mothers to heal your posterity lines. And truly, the mothers will heal the nations. That we step into healing the nations, and the men step into healing the nations. So it was truly the women that had to step forward first. This is the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. First, there was Adam, then there was Eve. Now it's the Eves, and then it's the Adams. So please understand that. The women had to step forward first in order for these generational curses to be healed and removed from their family line, and now it will be taught to the world as a whole. Okay, these are the healing fathers and mothers that have come to heal this nation. It is so important that you evaluate your heart daily so that you actually know what is your energy and what is not. That's why grounding becomes so important for people who are truly connected in oneness as a whole. This is what the world could call an empath, because you are feeling all the energy of others coming to you. Mother Earth cannot hold the pain of the people any longer, as she is going through her own cleansing process for a new heaven and earth to be born. We will feel the release of all the pain she has held. This is why it is so important to know where your heart is at and where the energy you are feeling is coming from. If you don't, you will get stuck thinking that it's your energy, wondering where it came from. All those who are doing the inner work, the healing, when you As all those who are doing the inner work, when you identify the thought, capture it, you can step back and see, wait a minute, this has already been healed within me. So this is not coming from me. This is why it is so important that we understand the cycle of the sun and the moon. That daily we are grounding ourselves and releasing all the energy that is not ours and is not meant to be held on to. Let's go deeper with this. When someone's energy is crying out for help, and you connect to it, your gift is to step into your creative power of turning the dark, the void, into light. Transform the energy, that negative frequency, into positive frequency, into love, and return to the sender as now healed energy for them to help them in their struggle. Okay, so you are going to heal this energy with love. This goes into your creative power of who we are. There are so many people suffering right now, and this is going to intensify on a mass magnitude. There are so many people suffering right now. I shared in the previous video that I had so much energy come at me that I felt I was so overwhelmed with, because if I've healed in those areas, why am I feeling these things so deep within me? Asking where is this coming from, and asking where this is coming from and going through this, asking where this is coming from. Let's just leave it at that. And then being taken through the process to see, oh my goodness, this is another person's energy, and they are literally reaching out for healing. They are crying out for healing, and their spirit is reaching out to your spirit, asking for help. When we step into our creative power and authority, we are able to transform the darkness into light, and we return the light to them as love and healing. Okay. So when I share this, we can see that this is part of being connected as a whole, and see why the 12 tribes are here. The tribes are here to heal the nations, and it's done through our spiritual gifts. And there are many, many different spiritual gifts. Our creative power is to turn the void, the darkness, into light, done with pure love. We are here creating a new heaven and an earth. Both male and female are participating in this. And this is something that the world took out and made it that there was 144,000 elders. But what they forgot was that not only is there 144,000 kings, there are queens standing next to them. This is male and female doing this together. Okay. The female was removed from her part and rule in creation. You cannot have creation without both male and female. In them having, okay, so in both of them, explaining that the healing of the nations is taking our creative power of that energy that is coming at us and being able to take the void, the darkness, and turn it into light and healing. In the process of this, they took me back to Genesis 1:1-5. In the beginning, and I was told to put father and mother back into it because both were involved in a new heaven and earth being born, male and female, created the heaven and the earth. Mother and father created the very first kingdom. I was shown that in the worlds without numbers, and all the kingdoms are existing all at once around them. They are the kingdoms are the inheritance, the portion of father and mother's kingdom that is given to their children, to their sons and daughters from their kingdom. And the golden arches are what connect them all together as one. To have a kingdom, you have to have a king and a queen, man and woman. So in the beginning, father and mother created the earth. What's happening right now? A new heaven and earth are being created. We are in the process right now of a new heaven and earth being created, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. As I just shared, our job is to take the void, the darkness, and to turn it into light. And their spirit moved upon the face of the waters. What are the waters? They are the living waters. The earth is a womb. She is living. She is the living water. Mother is living water. She is the womb of the earth. That is why she is called Mother Earth. Okay, hold on. The mother physical woman brings forth life from her womb, water of the physical being brought into existence. Both are done from the living water. So the earth womb is created from the living water, and the life is brought into existence through the womb, living water. Let me read that again. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And their spirit moved upon the face of the waters, and they said, "Let there be light," and there was light. What are the father and mothers doing right now? What are the 12 tribes doing right now? They are here to turn the void into the darkness into light. Sabbaths of light. What are the Sabbaths of light? This is all the work that is being done throughout the 6 days, and that light is being sanctified and recorded in the books of life. The light is being brought in from the darkness. And father and mother saw the light, that it was good, and they divided the light from the darkness. This is the shift. This is the dividing the wheat from the tares. And I've explained the wheat and the tares are energy fields. The tares within our energy fields. A new heaven and earth are being created, and it takes both male and female working together for this to happen. Okay, I'm going to share being connected to all of creation. If we understand both male and female, there are both men and women here right now. We are bringing in a new heaven and earth, and it is taking that void of the darkness and transforming it into light. We are seeing the void, we are filling the void, and our job is to turn the void into light. That is elevating the frequency of this earth as a new heaven and earth are brought in. Right now, what we are feeling on the earth and will feel more intensified is the direct connection to heaven and the throne room. We are feeling what father and mother are feeling from their children, the prayers that are being prayed in desperation of the people who have been stuck in the void of this world, who are crying out because they desire healing, but all that they have is what this world taught them. Many are feeling lost. And as this shift becomes more apparent, many more will feel lost in the faulty foundation that crumbles underneath their feet, that was built up of the world, upon the world, and its philosophies of men mingled with scripture, its false beliefs and generational curses. So this is what I was directly being walked through, experiencing when I was feeling all those feelings that were not my own. I was being shown this is what they are experiencing in the throne room. If you are experiencing what they are experiencing on earth as it is in heaven, you are connected as you are one with Father and Mother, one with Yeshua. You are connected to the frequency of those heart cries, those prayers, feeling the desperation of the people, hearing their desire to give up in the chaos, because in this world, because the world is feeling the new heaven and earth being created as chaos, because they are not in alignment yet with the earth and the shifting that is happening. They're out of alignment. And so to them, it feels very chaotic. So not in alignment yet with the earth and heaven, and we are feeling, rather we are recognizing it is not the earth going through this, and we are not yet understanding that it's the earth going through this transformation, this travailing, this birthing process of a new earth being created. And so for the people, it feels very chaotic. I'm really sorry. It gets really hard for me to read. My eyes get really blurry. Okay. So this has definitely been amplifying since that experience started. I'd say this over the last few weeks has really been amplified in different areas with other people. It just didn't have to do with my ancestry. It was feeling the connection to people, and that's what brought this on. So I'm going to share this. Okay. So I got to feel energy that did not, I got to feel energy that was, because when you go through your healing, that energy that I was feeling was not my own. And it got really amplified over the last couple weeks. And so I'm going to share this experience really quick, and then we're going to go to the whiteboard. Sorry, this didn't end up being a lot longer than I thought. Okay, so the experience that I had that really topped this off, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. What is happening? I was driving in my car in our pickup, and I was headed to get my husband. And I was on the freeway, and there was this semi next to me, and I had to get over. And when I glanced, I looked at this semi, and in that moment, I had this vision, and all these feelings fled in of like, I would just like to, and I had to get over. And so I was like, well, I literally saw a vision of myself hitting the semi, watching my pickup go off to the side of the freeway. And at that point, I was no longer in a body, and I just saw my spirit jumping out of this pickup and literally saying, finally it's over. I'm so happy it's over. And it was like, what on earth is happening? Because that is not my thought. So where are these thoughts coming from? And so that is when this was amplified, that our gifts are literally here to heal the nations. And then the people are going to feel this desperation as a new heaven and earth are brought in, because they are not in alignment with the shifting that is happening. And when you are not in alignment, the energy is going to be extremely heavy, because people are going to be so confused. It's going to be very chaotic. So that is why it's so important to know where our thoughts are coming from, capture every thought, have our hearts in alignment with the throne room, but also knowing that what we are feeling is literally what Father and Mother are feeling in the throne room of heaven, what Yahshua is feeling. Like, all of this is coming into the throne room, because if we are truly connected, our heart center is the throne room. I've taught this. And so we are feeling all the heart cries of the people right now. And our job is to take this void and turn the darkness into light. That's Genesis 1-5. That's creation. Okay. So I'm going to go to this whiteboard, and we're going to discuss this a little bit more. Okay, you might have to zoom in, and I'm really gonna pray that you guys can see this. Okay, so we're going to talk about the wheat and the tares and the healing of our energy fields. Okay, so I'm going to we're going to talk about wheat and the tares in our energy field. And when we have generational curses and unhealed trauma, right, it causes tares in our energy field. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to heal our energy field, better known as the tapestry of life. Okay, so this is something that each of us can do to help, especially mothers, heal the DNA strands. Okay, this is how healing the energy of the earth and the frequency of the earth, and how we will elevate that frequency. Okay, so over here we have our brain, and we have our spine, and within our spine there's the DNA strand. Okay, and we know that there are 24 female and 24 male. Okay, so the left side of our brain is the negative. Okay, and so we are going to take the negative that's coming at us. We're going to cast out the curse that's coming. Okay, in that moment, that person was feeling the desperation to give up and suicide. Okay, so I'm going to take that negative, and I'm going to cast the net onto the right side of the boat into a positive. Okay, and you're going to heal that energy, restoring 100-fold what the enemy has taken. So you're going to restore their desire and their passion for life. Okay, so it's casting out the curse, and casting them onto the right side of the boat, the right side of your brain, which is a positive. Okay, the right is the positive, the left is the negative. So we have to take the darkness and turn it into light. Okay? So when we take generational curses, traumas, false beliefs, all the faulty foundations of the world, okay, that are going to come at you, the purpose of this is to transform this darkness into light. Okay? And as we do that, then this energy field begins to be healed within a person, their tapestry. Okay? And Father and Mother had me show how that was done in that video from 1.5 years ago. So this is our spine, okay? So I'm going to go over to this one, okay? So our job is to bridge the gap between heaven and earth, on earth as it is in heaven, okay? So they showed me that there are, when you go through the healing, you're going to recognize the curse coming at you. You're going to bind it. What is bound on earth is bound in heaven, okay? So you're going to bind that curse. And from you're going to tear down every altar, contract, assignment, agenda, playbook, witchcraft, black magic, curses, spells from every realm, dimension, and layer, okay? And you're going to bind it, and you're going to cast it into the abyss, okay? And at that point, then Joshua is able to turn it into the beauty from the ashes, okay? And that is where we get the restoration. This is restored now to positive energy 100-fold. Okay, when we do that, at this point, when Joshua takes that curse and is bound, okay, and it's destroyed into the abyss, he takes the beauty from the ashes, and what is left is 2 golden cords, okay? So this is our spine, and this is our brain, okay? So what Joshua is going to do is he's now going to take these 2 golden cords, and he's going to weave them, 24 on both sides, okay? Like 2 needles being woven together. Father and Mother were showing me this, okay? In our energy fields, okay? So it's woven together, 24, which heals the DNA cord of 48. Okay, there's 24 on this side, 24 on this side, 48. And at that point, that golden light then, so you have up here, what happens in our brain. This is like the shifting and reconditioning of our brain. Okay, because now we're healing the DNA strand of the false belief, false tradition, trauma, generational curse. We're healing that DNA strand. And at that point, I was told, take those 2 cords. So I was being shown how it was done. So you take the 2 cords and you literally pulled it. I pulled it 3 times because you're the 4th person. It's happening to you. So you have Father, Mother, Joshua, you. Okay. So you have 4 chambers of your heart. You have 4 main quadrants in your brain. And you have 4 corners of the earth. Okay. So it's in complete healing. So when that happens, you fuse it back together. At that point, living water is literally poured through your DNA strand from the top of your head to the bottom of your spine, your root chakra. So from your crown to your root, that living water is poured through your spine. Okay. And what is water? Water is blue light, and water is healing. Okay. So then these golden strands are fused with living water, which is blue. And that's the healing. At that point, your DNA strand is then healed and sealed by Joshua, Father, and Mother. Okay, so that is helping us heal the negative energy, whatever the negative is. I shared that in the last video. Rather it's, you're going to take confusion for clarity. You're going to take fear for faith. You're going to take whatever it is. That's the process, okay? And you're going to transfer it from the left to the right, and you're going to heal it. You have to bind it. We all have a sword. You sever that. And then you bring in the healing light. So that is why when you remove it, you have to bring in the healing light. So you bring in the opposite, the positive, so you can restore that. So you state the opposite. So if it's confusion, you bring clarity. If it's doubt, doubt, the same thing. You can bring clarity. Fear, you're going to bring the faith. Whatever it is, you're going to state the opposite so that it goes from a negative to a positive. This heals our energy field. It rewires our brain, and it literally, if done through Yahshua and Father and Mother, because that is the four corners of the earth, and I will share this, is the reflection. Father, Mother, as you know, Yahshua and Father are one. Mother and Mother are one, and daughter, sorry, Mother, daughter are one. And Father and Son are one, but you all meet here in the middle. This is the throne room, and you're all connected as one. Okay, so you have Son and you have Father. Okay? This is healing us. It's healing our tapestries. So when we heal our tapestry, our energy field, we heal the tears in it. Okay, so wheat. Wheat is the good seed that was planted within us eternally, and it continues to be added upon and replenished every time that we enter into a life. The tears are what the world did to our energy field, and so the tears have to be healed. This is healing the tapestry. As we identify with the negative that is coming at us, and we can, okay, why are you coming at me? You can see it, and then you're able to turn it into the positive. So Father and Mother had me share how important this was in that video 1.5 years ago, that the mothers start healing their babies from conception, from the ultrasounds, the testing is done, the cutting of the umbilical cord, the putting eye treatment in their eyes, circumcision, all of it. The mothers were responsible to heal this trauma that was being done to their children, and it started with conception because the foods we were putting in our bodies, the disruption of frequencies, which is what ultrasound does, it disrupts the frequencies. It had to start there. So now if we're starting to heal the family, this is on a massive scale. As a new heaven and earth are brought in, this is going to be felt on a major scale. And so spiritual gifts of the tribes will be used to literally use our creative power to create the new heaven and earth and take the negative and turn it into positive light, so that the healing of the nations can truly take place. So if you look down here, I'm going to show you, why is it so important that we understand the golden light that is woven together, and then this living water that fuses everything from the top of our head to basically our crown to our root chakra. Okay, so if we look at this, for one, water holds the intelligence of Father and Mother. It holds their intelligence within it. Okay, the earth is created by living water, and so if we look at this, womb holds life. It holds the intelligence of life. It holds the intelligence of all living. So you have the earth that is a womb. Okay, and that's why people call Mother Earth, because I shared that in the video of Eve. Okay, this is the spine. This is the womb. The earth was the womb, living water. Mother of all living was Eve. Okay, then you have womb of a child, a physical womb, a mother's womb here on earth in the physical. You have her spine and you have the womb. And this holds physical life of the child. Living water is what connects them. And they had me put here, if you understand, this has to do again with eternal lives. Eve, Sarah, same person. Mother of all living, mother of nations. So the living water is literally what holds the intelligence of Father and Mother. It's what creates a new heaven and earth. It's what creates the new earth, is this living water. This living water is meant to fuse us and repair all of our DNA, and fuse us back together as one, healing our tapestries of life. So now there's no more tears in our energy field, and this is complete and whole. We are complete and whole. So the living water is truly what brings forth all of creation. And the golden light, the two golden strands, the golden light of the sun, that light is very important. So may this help us understand we are here to bridge the gap between heaven and earth. These are the gaps between heaven and earth. When our DNA strand is wounded, those are the gaps between heaven and earth. We want a complete sealed DNA strand of both 24 male and 24 female. These are the 24 elders in the book of Revelation, and there are 24 queens that stand next to them. You get a healed DNA strand of 48. So brothers and sisters, may this help us understand more fully what our responsibility is here of helping heal the nations, and that this earth is about to go into a lot of chaos. And so may we recognize the energy that's coming at us and use our spiritual gifts for the reason that they are used. This is one of the empath of being able to use our creative power and authority to be able to transform darkness into light, the void into the light, so that a new heaven and earth can be born. So I pray that this made sense and that this helped us, and that we can begin to implement this and understand that this living water has to return to the earth in order for a new earth, a new womb, to hold the next kingdom to be created. So, as always, please take this to Yahshua and Father and Mother for yourself. Have a glorious day.